Everybody, this is Hitesh here from MarketSmith India, and in this video I'm going to be taking you through 5 features of the MarketSmith India app which you can use to unlock its full potential. Now I highly recommend that you watch this video only if you have watched the other 2 videos linked in the description. Those 2 videos talk about the basic functionality of the app. This is an add-on video. I've also linked a basic understanding of what the canceling methodology is, around which is this MarketSmith India app built. Okay then, so during the course of this presentation you might see certain stocks on your screen. Please do not consider them either as a buy or a sell recommendation. This demonstration is purely for an educational purpose on how to operate the app. Okay, so once you open the home screen of the MarketSmith India app, and let's say you want to pull up a stock, so let me take up Syngene and tap the screen to get a full-blown image of the stock. Okay, so there is one feature in the app which makes it really easy for the user to understand which are the buy zones, which are the profit booking zones, and which is the loss booking zones. So this is the weekly chart of Syngene, and you can see the stock has made a nice base. It broke out and made another base, and from this pivot you can see there's a certain blue color area highlighted here. So this blue color area depicts the 7% range above the pivot. Now as per William O'Neill's research, you should buy a stock when it is within 7% from its pivot. So if you buy a stock, let's say here or maybe here, so on and so forth, it is considered to be extended and it's not ideal. It's not an ideal entry point to get into stock. So if you open up a stock and you see the stock is trading near this blue color zone here, so that means it's currently actionable, and that means it could be bought right now. It is within 7% from its pivot. Now also marked is this green color zone here. So this is the profit booking zone. Through his research, William O'Neill found that very often stocks break out of a base, go up about 20 to 25%, and they form the next base. So therefore, booking profits at 20 to 25% if purchased rightly from a breakout is not a bad idea. And this green color zone here, this feature in the app makes it really easy for the user to understand, okay, so this is my stock and it's trading near this green color zone here, so maybe it's time I take my profits off the table. So that is exactly what it depicts. And similarly, we all know that not all breakouts may work. There might be some breakouts which fail. And in William O'Neill's methodology, the whole idea is to keep the losses small, and when the gains come in, the gains should come in big. So if a breakout fails, as per William O'Neill's methodology, you should look to book your losses about not more than 8 to 10% from its purchase price. So this red color area here shows exactly that. So this makes it really convenient for the user to understand whether the stock is trading near its loss range, buy range, or whether it's booking range, just in one easy go. Now there's also this blue color area which is highlighted here, that is a little more sky blue area which is highlighted there. So that might be, so that's known as a 3-week tight pattern. Now a 3-week tight pattern happens when stock closes for 3 or more weeks in a tight fashion that is not more than 1% from the previous week's close. So now a 3-week pattern is considered to be a healthy sign, and if you see a stock forming tight patterns and breaking out from that, so that is considered to be a healthy sign, especially if it happens in a base, and that's also a sign that maybe you should add to your positions, etc. So if you observe carefully, this light blue color highlight here is actually a 3-week tight pattern, and this color coding makes it really easy for the user to understand that, okay, my stock is forming a 3 weeks tight or maybe a 4 weeks tight pattern. So that is a key feature which can be really useful, and I'm going to take you through a few more features. And like I mentioned before, I'm not going to be talking about the basic functionality of the app, which has already been covered in the 2 videos linked in the description below. I'm going to be talking about few additional features. So this is a weekly chart, and this red color line, what you can see here, is the 50-day moving average line. and this black color line here, what you can see is a 200-day moving average line, and of course this blue color line here is the RS line. So I'm going to be drawing your attention to the 50 and the 200-day moving average lines, and as a default, by standard, when you open the app, this is what is going to show. But not many people actually know that you can actually tweak this. Now, I know a lot of traders who like to customize the moving average lines they'd like to see on a stock. So a 50-day moving average line talks about the past 50 days average price of the stock, and it gives you an idea about the short-term trend of the stock, and so on. The 200-day moving average tells you about the long-term trend of the stock. Now you can actually tweak this. So let's see how to do it. Open your menu and go to your chart settings. And so you can customize each of your daily, weekly as well as monthly charts. So I was viewing the weekly chart for Syngene, so I'll tap the weekly charts panel, and you can see that by default you'll be looking at the 50-day or the 10-week line, 5 days in a week. So that's 50, and that's in the long-term trend line. I had my 200-day moving average or the 40-week line, and you can put them on or put them off by checking or unchecking these boxes. Now let's say you want to customize this, and I know that a lot of traders actually use a 20-day line. So I'm going to put a 4-week line instead of, this allows me a little bit of a customization. And if this is checked, we are good to go, and then save done. There you go. So now obviously a 20-day line is going to talk about the much shorter term trend of the stock, and accordingly the screen gets adjusted. So let's say if you want to change this on a daily chart, toggle to your daily screen, and you can see that in my daily screen currently, by default you would have the 50-day line, but this too is actually can be customized. So in my daily you can see that this green color line is a 10-day average line, red color line depicts the 50-day average, and the black color line depicts the 200-day moving average. So you can customize any of these four, and you can accordingly check or uncheck them, and you'll be able to see these moving average lines, which will help you in a better, so there you go, those are the lines. So you'll be able to understand as per your convenience, and as you get a little more proficient and as you get a little more familiar with the trading and the methodology, you'll be able to customize these and tweak these chart settings to use them as per your liking. So that's another key feature, and since I'm in the screen, I also want to highlight this section where you can even, so these are the color zones which I had highlighted. If you're not interested there, you can toggle them on and off, and this is even a tight area. You can even put off your pattern recognition, etc. So this chart settings panel is a pretty useful panel for customizing your screen. And now I'm also going to take you through a couple of more additional features which are not that evident to the eye. So let's say you pull up a model portfolio stock. So in this case, in the Prista Gas, and you can see the stock is currently in the blue color zone, which means it's currently near, you can see here it's 3% from the pivot. So right now it could be actionable. Maybe you can add to your position, so on and so forth. So this color coding makes it really easy. And so what I'd like to highlight here is that not many people actually know that if you tap this link here, so you get this in this panel, it depicts if it's a model portfolio stock, and for a non-model portfolio stock you don't get this notification here. And not many people know that if you tap this area which says up 2.2%, you can actually get an overview of the technical commentary. So we have our research team updating the week's action on a weekly basis to understand what actually happened in the stock. Maybe the stock gapped up during the week, that was a sign of strength, and maybe the research team believes that that's healthy, and maybe the stock faced a little bit of a correction, and the research team will give you a little bit of color as to maybe the fall in the stock was on low volume, so that's not really that concerning as compared to a stock correcting on high volumes. And maybe this is the time you booked your profit if the stock is trading near the 20-25% range. And maybe we see additional technical strength in the stock, so maybe you can continue holding on to the stock, so on and so forth. So on a weekly basis, every Friday, the research team gives a technical view about the stock, and this can be got by tapping that notification area which I showed you about here. Yeah, this one right here. So that's also a feature not many people actually know about it. And there's another really cool feature here is in this checklist panel. So this checklist panel here tells you about our proprietary ratings and rankings and whether it has passed the cutoffs we like to look for in canceling type of stocks. So you can see that we like stocks within above which have an RS rating of above 80, and in this case Indraprastha Gas has 83 and therefore it's a pass, so on and so forth. So therefore out of the 9 criteria it has passed 8 out of this criteria of this canceling criteria. So that's fine, but did you know that you can actually even tweak this? You can actually tweak by what I mean by tweak is the criteria currently you're seeing on the left hand side of your panel. So you can actually tweak it by clicking this. You can go to your custom screen and you can set your own screen. So for example, in my custom screen, I'd like to see if the stock has passed being a master score A. I like to see stocks which have a mid and which are only within the mid and small cap universe and not too far from their highs, and I like high ROE stocks, and therefore I have created this custom checklist. And if I save it and if I set it, yeah, so there you go. So you can create a custom checklist and you can see if your stock, any stock which you pull up on your screen, whether it has passed your custom checklists. So just as an example, I'm pulling up Maruti. So now Maruti Suzuki is a larger cap and it has failed our mid and small cap criteria. So therefore it's a fail on that metric. So on and so forth. You can actually tweak around and customize your filters accordingly. And this is also a really powerful feature in the app. And apart from this, there's another really smart feature which allows you to favorite a stock. So once you favorite a stock by clicking this star symbol here, you can actually pull up, go to your list of favorite stocks and scan through them on a daily basis. So I would just go to my idea list, and once I do that, so tap the favorite stocks button and I'll have a list of all my stocks which are favorite, and it'll be easy for me to actually quickly run through what my stocks are up to, what my favorite stocks are up to, and you can create a lot more lists. And there's also this feature in the app. So I don't, we're all busy and we're all want information the fastest way. So if I have this list and if I want to see which stocks are near the pivot, so this symbol here, this is a symbol of a cup with a handle. So this symbol here means the stock is currently trading near its pivot, and this saves me a lot of time, especially if I have a list of like many stocks. I can quickly browse through the list and understand which stocks are maybe currently actionable. So like I showed you before, Indraprastha was in the blue color zone, and therefore when you view it on a list, you will be able to see this small little notification here telling you that, hey, I'm currently near the pivot and maybe I deserve more attention of yours. So these are some of the few features in the app which can really help you take advantage of the app. These are slightly lesser known, and once you get more proficient with canceling and get more proficient with the app, this can help you in small little tips and tricks. So I hope this video was useful. Thank you so much for watching this video. Our MarketSmith India app is available on Google Play Store. Feel free to download it. Thank you.